you guys know that we never knew our father.
Yeah.
Right, growing up. Danielle and I actually had boyfriends at the same time who also didn't know their father. That when I say that they didn't know their fathers, they never met them. Mm-hmm. Both of these men, they don't even know each other, both of these men. And then we didn't. So all four of us don't know our fathers.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
So people like Kara and I should be actually the exception, not the rule. But in the Black community, not having a father is just what it is. And which is why that's kind of like the running dark joke is that, Black people don't know their fathers.
And the reason why that no one talks about this in the Black community is because Black men get upset.
Yeah, Black men
because
get really
they feel like deadbeats.
Yeah.
And they feel like everybody's calling them that. And Black women feel like whores.
Yeah.
And so you'll never hear Michelle Obama talk about it.
Nope.
You'll never hear Oprah Winfrey talk about it, Maxine Waters. None of them they'll talk about racism, but they'll never talk about the issues that we cause. And the reason why they won't do it is because they know, just like we know, that the instant you say this to the Black community,
they get mad.
They get angry and they shut down. And they don't want to talk about it no more.
But someone's getting angry right now.
Right now.
Kara and I were watching, what's his name? Jesse Lee Peterson. We haven't watched Jesse Lee in quite some time. Anyways, we came across him talking to Godfrey. It's Godfrey. And very interesting conversation.
Yes, sir. Is it true that that you call Black women queens?
Well, I don't use queens. I just stand up for them. They are queens, obviously, but I'm
but you don't call them queens.
I don't go queens all the time. I don't use the term queens.
Oh,
but
good.
I revere them as that because they are queens.
What does that mean to be a queen?
A queen, it's like a royal thing. It's like a respect thing because they should be treated like you should put them on a throne because we need to show more respect for them because Black men have been we've been pretty unloyal to them. As far as like political.
For those of you who don't know, we're trying to, and kind of unsuccessfully, but pushing this, we're trying to retire the word queen and king. And king. Because it's heavily used in the Black community. It's something about it I think has made us more arrogant.
Yeah, man, he's revealing to me what I've always felt of a reason why Black men call Black women queens is that he feels that Black men haven't done Black women really well. And I always think that men who are mostly players, they feel some sort of guilt, maybe. And that's the reason why they feel like they get to call you this big name.
Because most of the people who do say that, most of Black men that say queen, that refer to a Black woman's queen, they're usually some kind of player. Yeah. Usually it's like
it's game.
Yeah, it's like a game.
Emotionally, as far as they've always been by our side no matter what we've been through. Black women have always stood up for us. And I'm just saying we should sometimes take a stand. So you're saying that
Black women should be put on a throne?
Sure.
And why?
Because every other woman is.
Why don't you call them queens then if you believe that they should be put on a throne?
Queens, because I like to just say, I just like to show them my respect through my actions. And it's the same as calling them queens because I treat them that way.
Amazing.
But you see how he's acting? He's acting like he's scared of us. Mm-hmm. His actions, his body language, it's like he's afraid of Black women. Yeah. And he's afraid to cause anything but that. Mm-hmm. And I don't like, again, that's manipulative because you're working off some sort of actual fear that if you say it, you're going to make Black women really mad. If you say what Jesse's saying right now, you're going to make Black women really, really mad. Mm-hmm. And, this is why I don't like it.
We make Black women mad.
Right. Right.
Because we say the quiet part out loud. So what Godfrey's not saying is what he really should say. Black women are a mess.
So, right. Our
community is a mess.
Right.
But
that's why
this is about Black women right now.
Men kings. I'm not doing that. You're not a king.
So the Black community is a mess right now. And that's the quiet part out loud that a lot of Black people don't want to say, but I'm going to say, because that is the truth. And the more we keep avoiding the actual truth, the more the problem seems to continue.
That way because all other women are treated that way?
Yeah, we looked up to white women. We Latin
you put
women,
white women on a throne?
No, I said a lot of Black men.
Do you put white women on a throne?
No, I do not. Because they'll call the police on you. White women are Decepticons.
And so
53% of them voted for Trump.
So who would put white women on a throne?
The society does.
How's that?
Well, you look at advertising. There's always white women advertising for makeup, as they're always the standard of beauty, and so all these other ethnic women always try to be like them, try to have their standard of beauty be like them, and that's not fair. You understand? That's why Asian women are running, try to be white women. Latin women try to be running to be white women, and black women, some of them, want to have the same. Because black men actually, percentage-wise, always, praise other women.
What do you?
A lot of times.
So
I'm not saying every black man does that, but it's usually the case.
So do black men put white women and other women on
a lot of times? Yeah. I didn't say every black man, but a lot of them do.
That's why they're marrying them.
Sure.
Because they're putting them on a throne.
Sure.
Amazing. And you think that the black woman should be put on the throne?
Damn right.
And why again?
Because our mothers, our aunties, our grandmothers have done so much for us, and black women have taken the burden of everything in society.
But
they're treated, and they're the lowest ranked as far as beauty, which is not the truth.
It's the black women, black mothers who have put the black men, boys and girls, and now adult men and women in the situation that they're in.
What situation that they're in?
Weak and angry and insecure. And
no, that's no. There's a lot of amazing black people that have had strong black mothers, and the reason why
no such thing.
Yeah, okay, amazing.
Amazing. You believe that black women are strong?
Hell yeah.
Did you know there's
not
no
enough
such thing?
Black women superheroes?
So what you've just admitted that you are weak then.
How would I be weak?
Because there's no such thing as a strong woman, just weak men.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
How?
How is it that black women are so strong?
So was your mother a strong woman?
No.
She was white?
There's no such thing. She was black. There's no such thing as a strong woman. How is it that?
So he says there's no such thing as a strong woman. So this is where Jesse Lee always pisses people off, because he's just telling the truth. Y'all, when you have to give it a name, independent woman, and strong woman, and queens, and all this stuff, when you have to give it a name, you know that it's not natural.
Right.
And we have said this probably a gazillion times on this show. You do not call a fish a swimmer. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because this is what a fish does. So when we're saying that women are strong women, queens and empowered women, like that's just not a thing. Independent women.
We don't call men independent men. We call it being a man.
Yeah, just being a man.
You know what I'm saying? So the idea that, and again, it sounds like he feels some guilt.
Yeah.
Because he maybe finds other women attractive.
Yes.
And so he feels like he has to call black women queen because he finds other women attractive.
And he plans on
and by the way, why are black women always angry? Because they are independent.
Yes, that's why.
And they're by themselves. Mm-hmm. And when they are married, they're equal to their husband instead of their husband being ahead of them. And a man is supposed to be above his wife. Mm-hmm. Sorry to say that. I know that's not a thing to say anymore.
It's true though.
But the man is supposed to be the head of a woman. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the head of the household. A lot of people like to say, oh yeah, he's the head of household. No, he's supposed to be ahead of you.
Over you.
When I get married, my husband's ahead of me. Because how can my kids respect him if I don't respect him?
Right. There has to be an order there.
Blanchard Robinson said the other day, he said men are supposed to give women love. Women are supposed to give men respect.
Yeah, that's true.
We're supposed to give them respect and loyalty. Mm-hmm. Men, because that's what the Bible says. You're supposed to love your wife. Mm-hmm. And your wives are supposed to respect their husbands. Mm-hmm. But there is a reason for that. Because if you don't, you can love a man and not respect him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any real discipline, Godfrey. And I have a feeling that he sleeps around with women that aren't black. And he feels guilty about that because, as he said, his mama and his aunties and everybody else is black. And he ain't married. Mm-hmm. So he's sleeping around with just multiple women. That's another guilt.
Yeah.
Sitting there propping up women. And this is whenever men prop up women, I know it's because they feel guilty about something they are feeling as a man.
How is it that black women are so strong?
Yeah.
Give me an example of a strong black woman.
Tolerance, man. Tolerance.
What do that mean? What do you mean by that?
Look at tolerance of being put down every single day. Tolerance
put
of
down
not being
how?
Considered number one.
Put
by
down
us. How? Put down by saying that they're not pretty enough. They're not this.
Who
they're not
said
that. And they're the most educated
Who
in America.
said that?
We, black men. White men say it.
So you've said that black women are not pretty enough?
I never said that.
You said we.
Black men, you guys. Oh, you specifically.
Have you ever said that?
Because you said your mother is weak because she's black. That's
all
what you
women
said.
are weak.
No. Physically, you mean?
Period.
No.
Yeah.
You're not.
So do you think that do you agree that the woman came from the man?
We came from the woman.
No, do you believe that God created the woman from the man?
No. It's scientifically proven that the black woman is the oldest.
Was the man created from the woman?
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
This is what's wrong with black men.
What's wrong with black men?
They think like women.
Now you see, now you flipped it. I know your tricks.
What do you mean?
I think like, so Steve Harvey wrote the wrong book?
Did he write the book like that?
Think like a man.
If I were you, I'd put that book away.
I never read it.
Oh, good for you.
I just watched Family Feud.
Are black women spiritually stronger?
Hell yeah. Whew. Yes.
Where's the proof of that?
Black churches, man. You can go to churches. They're the root of the black church. They're the root of churches, man. Yeah, sure.
That's what makes them stronger?
Oh, what makes them stronger? Because
What made them spiritually stronger than the man?
This doesn't embarrass black men.
I'm trying to embarrass.
Because what he's saying is that black women are stronger than black men. Black women are stronger than black men.
That's what he's saying.
He's saying that he's a weak man and black women are stronger than him. That means that you guys aren't the head of that he's submitting. That black women are the head that run the black community.
The church, the home, marriage,
everything. Marriage.
The kids.
Like he's painting a picture of very weak men.
He's bigging up the matriarchy is what he's doing right here. I know people are gonna get upset at him saying, especially women, when Jesse says that women are weak. All women are weak. So we've watched many Jesse Lee Peterson videos. We understand his psychology on things. So when he says women are weak, what he's referring to, at least in all the videos he talks about, is we're the fairer sex.
We are.
We're the weaker sex. We are the weaker sex. And so does that mean that we are weak-minded, dummies?
That's not what he means.
No, it's not what he's talking about. And I think that people rush to that opinion when they hear him say that. We are the fairer sex. We are the weaker sex. That is the truth. That's the truth.
I wish I had this. I wish I had this video. There was this video that happened maybe 5 years ago, and this little boy was asked he's a black kid, and he said, "Who's strong, your mom or your dad?" And he said, "My dad." They said, "What?" And they were like shocked. And he was like, "What?" His father was like, "What?" Yeah. You know what I mean? He was just like, "My dad. My dad's the strongest. My mom's not stronger than my father." And he was just like, "You don't think your mother's strong? Not stronger than my father."
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's the right mentality.
Right. Again, without men, women would not be able to really function. This is the reason why most women didn't want to vote.
Yeah.
When the suffrage came, they didn't want to vote because they knew that voting means the reason why men vote is because they were dying in all these wars.
Yeah.
They were putting their life on the line for the country. Women weren't doing it, they didn't want to. And so they knew that putting their little, and we were able to still vote and not have to fight wars. Yeah. See how they make us feel good about they make us feel good about stuff as we go, and we could just say thank you. Mm-hmm. But instead we tell them that they're oppressing us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so when I look at someone like Godfrey, it makes me mad that he's black. I'm going to say that. It angers me when I see black men act like this because it shows me that you are being taken over spiritually and mentally by women.
What made them spiritually stronger than the man?
Because they have a lot of faith in us. Even though we keep screwing up so much, they always have a lot of faith in us. They always tend to black men. Even the ones that go astray.
So they're spiritually than men because the proof is they have a lot of
their loyalty to us, their tolerance, their unconditional love.
Black women hate black men.
There's a reason why.
So how can you be
our irresponsibility?
But they made you that way.
No, they didn't. We did that. No,
they recreated you in their image.
No, they recreated us in their image.
Yeah.
Oh no, they did not.
Well, why do black men act like?
If black men were created by black women, then we would be way better. We'd
no,
be way
you
ahead.
were recreated by them. You're just like them.
No, we're not just like them.
Black men get angry like a woman. Just like mama.
Black men get angry
just
in
like
society.
Mama. Yeah, they can't handle anything. They take words personally.
Nah, that depends on the individual.
They look to the woman to take care of them instead of taking care of the woman.
That's see how you just see it's black men being irresponsible.
But the woman made that, mama made, their mothers made.
I would add to this. Mm-hmm. So this is a problem with the black community. Everyone's having sex out of wedlock.
Right.
Okay. And that is creating babies. the single mother rate is at 76% or 74% as a single mother rate. Now, within that 74%, the amount of men who are out of their children's lives due to death is maybe 5%. I believe it's around that. The case is very low. And the ones that leave and just flee the scene, that's when you get up to the 80 percentile.
I mean, then jail. And,
and jail and all these things. So women are single and they're single parents. The men leave. This is leaving a issue for the woman, right? Because now she is having to raise, in this case would be boys, right? And she's raising boys out of her image. And that is true.
Even if you are in your child's life, if you're not living in the house, that makes a difference. So even if you kind of take care of your kid, but the child is with their mother all the time, it still brings, because the idea is that you should be in the same house. Everyone should have the same name.
Yeah.
And there should be everybody should come from this man. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the house should have his name, because what ends up happening is you're showing kids structure. When you're not married when you're divorced or you never got married, but even if you kind of take care of your kid, you're showing your kid chaos. Mm-hmm. That you can just sort of have kids outside of wedlock and still be happy. I mean, Amber Rose was on his show and she was going on and on about the fact that she's happy that that she can just be happy and her child's father can be happy. And then Jesse's like, what are you talking about? You're talking about chaos. Yeah. And you're trying to normalize women just being frivolous with their bodies and having kids outside of wedlock.
And men are giving into their sexual desires without being married. I feel like when men don't have any sexual discipline, this is kind of like what will happen. Mm-hmm. His seed goes everywhere.
But just an unstable woman will give you sex.
And so that's a problem. So I would add to what Jesse is saying, that it is the problem with the woman, because when he's talking about this part, what he's referring to is that because black men, we're talking about black people at this point, but because black men leave their responsibilities, that is leaving not just the child, you're leaving the woman to now raise the child alone. And because of that, she is going to raise her child like a woman, because she is a woman, which means that she's going to raise children, boys, in her image.
You guys know that we never knew our father.
Yeah.
Right, growing up. Danielle and I actually had boyfriends at the same time who also didn't know their father. That when I say that they didn't know their fathers, they never met them. Mm-hmm. Both of these men, they don't even know each other, both of these men. And then we didn't. So all four of us don't know our fathers.
Yeah. And we thought that was going to work.
And they lived in different parts of the country. So it wasn't like it was just like we all lived in the same neighborhood. No. This is the thing this is a problem.
So people like Kara and I should be actually the exception, not the rule. But in the black community, not having a father is just what it is. Which is why normal. That's kind of like the running dark joke, is that black people don't know their fathers.
And the reason why that no one talks about this in the black community is because black men get upset.
Yeah, black men
because
get really
they
mad.
Feel like deadbeats.
Yeah,
and they feel like everybody's calling them that. And black women feel like whores.
Yeah.
And so you'll never hear Michelle Obama talk about it.
Nope.
You'll never hear Oprah Winfrey talk about it, Maxine Waters. None of them they'll talk about racism, but they'll never talk about the issues that we cause. And the reason why they won't do it is because they know, just like we know, that the instant you say this to the black community,
they get mad.
They get angry and they shut down and they don't want to talk about it no more.
But someone's getting angry right now.
Right now.
Why do so many black men date other races?
Why do so many black men date other races? Because sometimes, they might be feeling a little bit low self-esteem. They don't feel like they're good enough. They don't feel
good enough of what?
Sometimes they don't feel good enough about themselves and about their people, and about no knowledge of self and no self-pride.
But they feel good enough to marry another woman outside the race?
Listen, don't misconstrue my words. Sometimes you actually like somebody because of who they are. It has nothing to do with their race. They just happen to be a different race. That is a fact. You understand?
Right.
But sometimes, it might be your type. Maybe you like a different type of race because that's your type. There's nothing wrong with having a type. But there's a lot of cases that no one addresses, that black men will date other races because they just don't want to date black women.
But
they might have a bad history with black women, or they just don't like themselves, and it's a reflection on who they date sometimes because it's self-hate.
you say that they might not feel good enough. So are you saying that they feel good enough to marry a white woman, a Mexican,
it's usually not even the top.
Japanese, but they don't feel good enough to marry a black woman?
And it's usually never.
Why don't they feel good enough to marry a black woman, but they can marry all the other races?
It's not about good enough, but sometimes.
You said that.
No, you said that.
No, you said because they might not feel good enough. I asked, why do they marry outside their races? And you said they might not feel good enough. So are you saying they feel good enough to marry every race but the black woman?
Right. Here's sometimes this is what we do. We will date a white chick, but it's never top-notch white girl. It's always average looking, you know? It's always And black women, vice versa. They won't date like the George Clooney's or whatever. They get an average looking dude. It's either white people have good taste or black people have shitty taste. You understand? And
have you ever dated a white woman?
I've had sex with them before.
Have you ever dated one?
No, I've had sex with them.
Would you marry a white woman?
No.
Why not?
I want black children.
Oh, why?
Huh?
Why?
Because they're cool. Black children are awesome.
But you hit the nail on the head when you said because they had bad experiences with their mothers.
So again, double-minded man is dangerous. Yeah. He's over here saying he wants black children, but he sleeps with white women. Make that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that doesn't make any kind of sense at all. And what he's basically saying is that black men date other races because black women are mean and they're hard to deal with. And why are they hard to deal with? Because black men prop up black women to put them in a position they should not be in. And black women accept it.
Again, the quiet part out loud is the reason why black men are not dating black women. We just had a black man in our comments. I forgot your name, sir. But he just said, I stopped dating. He likes our show, by the way. But he said, I stopped dating black women a long time ago. And we get that comment a lot from black men. Even people that support us.
Yeah.
But most black men don't like to date black women anymore because a lot of the reasons, there's a lot of different reasons. Sometimes it's preference, but most of the time it's because we have attitudes.
He treats black women bad.
Yes.
He said that kind of several times. I sleep with white women. Yeah. I mess up. I'm not very nice to them. I'm clearly not married to any of them. I haven't proposed to not one woman. Right. So I sleep around and I do bad things. Right. And therefore I'm going to call her a queen because I'm not a man.
Right.
And I have to do something. So what happens is black women get put in the elevation of a man. And we're not supposed to be there, so it turns us into monsters. Angry, frustrated, overly sexual. You know what I mean? All kinds of bad things happen when you do that. That's not where God put us. That's why we keep saying that there is an order in this and that black women are not supposed to be strong. Black men are.
We're out of order.
You know what I mean? And now we're out of order. And what ends up happening is black women now become undesirable because they're in a position they're not supposed to be. Now, most black women are going to say, yeah, I'm a strong black woman because we've now made that some kind of virtue, like you know, like some sort of power. Oh, black women are strong, and black women just love to hear that because we don't feel good about ourselves.
We think that it's helping us. It's not.
It's not. But it's not to stay face because of our demographics are so horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be mean to black people or I'm trying to cater for white people. It's just the truth. Anybody with eyes can see this. Do you think white people can't see this just because if I don't say it? They see it. They know why we do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing is Godfrey is a good example of why this is. Way too much playing around at an age where you need to slow down.
Right.
You know?
And then also I always listen to the way people talk and what they're saying. And I'm noticing that when he was referring to white women, he calls them chicks. And when he's referring to black women, he says black women. He says women part. And I'm noticing that about him. But I've seen him talk before about white women and he refers to them as chicks, and I feel like that's two things. It's like he's degrading white women on one hand, but he's also trying to show black women that look, I'm degrading white women. So I still do think you black women are better than them because I'm calling them just some chicks.
Yeah, I mean, he sit there and said he doesn't like white women because 53% of you voted for Trump. Yeah. But he's willing to sleep with them.
Be a mother thing.
That's what it is.
Daddy issues for black women that do the other thing, right?
Yes.
It's daddy issues. That's a fact. It's usually family structure.
Right. They hate their mother, so they try to get away from mama.
There's Oedipal complexes. There's electric complexes.
They hate their mother, so they try to get away from mama.
Right. They don't want to see anything that reminds them of their mother. And I understand that. That's a psychological thing. I get that. But why is
it's a spiritual thing.
A lot. Why is it that we never get top-notch white girl? It's never the bad ones. You rarely.
Well, you said they don't feel good enough.
Right. But how are you going to leave your race and get the shitty version?
So my thing in saying this is just because you would rather date a low-level white woman than date a black woman because black women are hard to deal with.
Yeah.
That's what it's showing. It's just showing I would rather date a white woman that doesn't give me no problems.
Yeah.
But she does everything I say.
But you're not physically attracted to her.
You're not even, you don't even care to be attracted. You know what I mean? Then date a black woman because it's not the looks really either. It's the attitude that comes along with it. Most black men I know that date outside their race. Look, Danielle and I have no problem with that. We come from a biracial, you know, my mother's biracial. Our mother, sorry. Our mother is biracial. My grandmother that, you know, because we didn't know our father's side family was white.
Yes.
So I don't, all my cousins and stuff are all, you know, more white than black, more black than white, you know. So I don't have a problem with interracial marriage. You know what I mean? If I ever marry a white man, I've never dated a white man, but if it ever happened, I would like the person. You know what I mean? But most black men that I know that date white women, they date white women, and they've told me they don't like the attitude of black women. And I know that's true because I know black women, and most black women are, like, not all, but most black women, black women are attitude-ish, mean, victimhood, angry, and they still want you over-sexualized. Know-it-alls.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a different, like, why are we not allowed to, like, why aren't people just telling the truth? Like,
it's just the truth.
Like, it's like you have to be blind to not see that. There's a problem with the behaviors of black women. There is a problem, right? Like, I mean, like, why are we not acting like that? Why are we just trying to make it seem we're all queens?
No, that's low self-esteem. You can't listen. You know, a white girl is fine when other black women go, damn, that's a bad chick right there. See, you want to get black girl approved white girl if you're going to get a white girl.
What do you think about the Great White Hope?
What about that? Tom Brady?
The Great White Hope. What do you think about
Tom Brady?
You don't know who the Great White Hope is?
You mean Donald Trump?
Like,
are you a Donald Trump fan?
All the way.
Why?
Because he's the Great White Hope.
How?
He's a good man. He's put America first. Did you vote for him?
No, I did not. I bet money, though, that he was going to win.
Did you vote for Hillary?
No.
You didn't vote at all?
Bernie Sanders.
Oh, you voted for Bernie?
Yes.
Are you a socialist?
I don't know. I socialize with people.
Are you a socialist?
I go to parties and stuff.
Right. Are you a socialist?
I don't even know what that is.
But why did you vote for Bernie?
Because I just, I did a little benefit for him, and then I said, I might as well vote for him. He had some good stuff to talk about. He was in the civil rights movement, stuff like that. I chose the lesser of the evils, man. Everyone got some dirt on it, but I just got to vote.
So he was evil?
Because black people died for our ability to have the right to vote, so I have to do that. I have to do my due diligence. You understand?
So Bernie Sanders is evil?
You're not doing your due diligence if you're not finding out what the candidate's about.
With that comes responsibility. You don't just vote for anybody because a bunch of black people marched for you to do it. You have to then. You don't just vote. You then look into the candidates.
Right. You're just what? And
people like this shouldn't vote.
Yeah.
I'd say he's evil, but I think every politician
said the lesser of the two evil.
The lesser of the evils, as far as like, okay, this person has dirt. This person has dirt. Who do you choose? It's like going into a brothel. Some are sluttier than others, but you got to try and see which one looks the cleanest.
Are you amazing?
Because you can't say that one group of people cause all the problems, especially some of the problems with the men. You can't say that the women are causing some internal problems.
Right.
No, it's the black woman, the black mother, who's causing the problem for the black children by turning them away from their fathers toward her.
The black children?
That's why the black father is screwing up.
And so the children become like the mothers, and when they become adults, they're just like the mother, angry, out of control. The man can't handle her because it is his mother.
I think it's a little bit disrespectful, actually really disrespectful to imply that.
Why?
Right.
Why is that?
Right. That's right, Zach. Tell him.
And why is it disrespectful to tell the truth about the black woman?
Because it's not the truth.
Do you actually think that's the truth?
Right.
That is the truth.
Do you think? Is it a fact?
It's a fact.
Yo, he's on a cup with Donald Trump, man. Come on now.
What does that mean?
How do you know that that's a fact? You can't make up something and then say that it's a fact. You have to have something to back it up.
I have it. May I give you an example?
Yes.
Look at the personality and attitude of the black men and women. They're just like their mothers. The men don't even act like men. They act just like the mothers. They act like the women. There's no difference between the action of the black man and the black woman. But if the men and women had not been turned away from their fathers with their mothers, by their mothers, the boys would not be acting like the mothers. They would be logical rather than angry and insecure and blaming.
Just the wrong psychology, man.
It's a woman's attitude.
What he's saying is, because see, the background on Jesse is that Jesse did not know his father.
Yeah.
And when he asked his mother about him, she didn't want to tell him who he was. So that's why I think he feels this way about.
We've had that ongoing theory. We've had a theory about Jesse for a while.
But what he is saying is true in the fact that now we've had generations of single motherhood, and what's happening is that black men, the majority of black men, because most black men are just raised with their mom. This is the reason why a lot of black men don't like to talk about single motherhood, because their mother was a single mother, and they don't want to say anything to disrespect. Yeah. You know, Danielle and I come from a single mother, but I don't mind talking about it because my mother didn't mind talking to it about us. My mother told us a long time ago when we were younger, do not become single mothers.
It's hard.
It's not good.
Be married.
And she couldn't teach me how to be a wife, and that's why I'm not one. You know what I mean? But she also taught me that you should not just be a mom just to be one, because these kids are going to one day be grown-ups.
Yeah.
And whatever you don't give them or do give them, it's going to take a long time for them to get over. And so a lot of these young men, black men in particular, are raised with mothers. They go to church and it's mostly women. They go home and it's a woman or their grandma, or they go to school and the teacher's a woman. Yeah. And they're surrounded. They go on their phones, and it's just half-naked women. And so black men are surrounded by feminine energy. And that's why a lot of them are victims, and they love this. They love talking about how the white man's trying to impress them because they don't like the responsibility at all. Not all black men are like this. We have a lot of black men that watch us that are, and definitely not that.
No, they're alphas.
You know what I mean? They're alpha males. You know, most of them were raised with their father, or most of them who weren't raised with their father realized what it meant to not have their father, which is what happened with me and Danielle. We were raised to see what happens when you're just alone. And I didn't want to ever have a child that didn't have a father, ever. I'd rather not have them than raise a child by myself. I don't think that's fair. When these women that sit around and saying, I can do it by myself because I have money, that's not fair. You are being selfish. You're trying to fulfill your own need, and you're supposed to be giving this child both parents. Kids deserve both parents. They deserve both parents. And so generations of his type of personality has created a bunch of unstable men and unstable women who are perpetually having a cycle of single motherhood. And men who aren't there, or men who can't stand this woman they have children with, they don't even want to be around her.
Well, when he tells when the caller says, you need to provide, you can't just say this kind of stuff. You need to provide some kind of proof. Well, the proof is in the numbers, though. The proof, the single mother rate has single-handedly contributed to the behaviors of children. Those kids grow up to be adults who behave like this. And so that's the proof. The proof is the stats in our community are so low. But Jesse is pointing out as well, if you just open your eyes, you know what you're saying.
Ironically, the only president I've ever really heard talk about it, possibly Trump, but was Barack Obama.
Yeah, Barack Obama.
Before he became the president, he mentioned the fact that because he didn't have a father.
Yeah.
Well, he had a stepfather, and then his original father left. But he was saying that when kids don't have a father, they're more likely to go to prison. They're more likely to be homeless. They're more likely to be broke. They're more likely to make other kids out of wedlock.
Yeah.
For girls too. When girls don't have a father, they're more likely to be frivolous sexually.
Right.
And you can see that. We do that in our community.
That's the wrong psychology, man.
It's a woman's attitude when black men blame white men for their failure. That's a woman's personality.
Well, I do agree in some cases, but I think sometimes they're not blaming. They're actually just saying the reasons for things that are occurring.
No, they're blaming. That's why they ask for affirmative action and reparations, because the men are blaming just like the women.
You don't believe in reparations?
And they're begging. But thank you, Zach. I appreciate it, buddy. Let me ask you this. You believe in you want affirmative action?
Affirmative action was necessary.
Do you want affirmative action?
If I wouldn't mind getting rid of affirmative action if we were all started on an even playing field. But no, we need some of these things installed because people are on some unfair crap.
Do you want affirmative action?
Sure. But why not? As long as it makes us, we need to, because we need to spread the love.
But we have given you people.
Who's we?
Affirmative action.
We? Who are you part of? We? What? You Trump administration? You and
America?
America.
Yeah.
What about it?
We have given you people. We gave you this. What?
We've given you people. Go ahead.
We gave you the civil rights movement.
Right.
We allowed you to sit in white cafes and white businesses during that time.
Yeah, even in Starbucks still.
We giving you the white. You say, oh, that's not enough. We want white. We want to go to school with the white people. So we gave you permission to go to school with the white people.
Yeah, but we didn't always want to go to school with them.
And then you said, I want to live in the white communities. And so we gave you the white community, even though you turned them into ghettos. We gave you white communities.
Did black people turn them into ghettos?
And then you said, that's not enough. That's not enough. We want to go to white school, but we're not smart enough. You have to lower the grades.
Did we turn them into the ghetto?
How much more do you want?
Did we turn them into the ghetto?
We even gave you the white woman.
And that's what got us in trouble.
The blacks start begging for the white women.
Why? What did we turn the neighborhoods into the ghetto?
The blacks do.
Blacks do.
Yeah.
Right. No, not like the city purposely doing that and keeping stuff dilapidated.
We take no responsibility. None. Isn't that crazy? He didn't give him any responsibility. Like, the reason why the ghettos are the ghettos is because the people in the ghettos. The reason why upscale gated communities look so beautiful in the way they look is because the people inside the upscale communities.
Right. The projects don't have to be ugly.
Yeah.
The projects or any black neighborhood doesn't have to be ugly. The people decide that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even if white people owned everything in the black community, you are the ones who have to clean up your trash.
Yeah.
Why don't you put your trash in a trash bin? You know what I mean? It's like when they say, oh, well, they dropped drugs in the 80s.
Oh, geez.
So what? You just take it? You know what I mean? That is a character problem. That is a spiritual problem. Those are things that have nothing to do with white people. It's just what we accept.
Yeah.
The white man gives you welfare and you take it. You took it.
Yeah.
You don't got to.
But you did.
But you do.
Purposely do it through the blacks. It's only the blacks that
it's only the blacks that get treated like crap and are relegated to those areas.
What do you think about the blacks who call themselves African Americans and they were born in America? Is that dumb?
No, it's not.
You got to be out of your mind to be born in a country but call yourself something else. You got to be dumb,
you
right?
Just try to have a connection.
To what?
To Africa.
But the folks in Africa don't even like black Americans.
We know that. I'm African.
So why are you?
You know I'm African, right?
Where are you from?
Nigerian.
So you were born over there?
I was born here.
Oh, your parents are from there?
My parents and my sister.
That's why you have a little sense.
It's been a long time since we did a Jesse Lee Peterson video.
I know you guys have been asking about Jesse Lee
I haven't
Peterson.
watched him in a while.
We'll do another one.
I might have to watch a Candace Owens video. I haven't watched her in a long time either.
I haven't watched her either.
I haven't watched. We did a Brandon Tatum one.
Yeah.
The other day. I haven't watched him in a long time either. And I thought this was just interesting because I feel like he encompasses the mental breakup of most black people.
Yeah.
And how we think and how we kind of just are a monolith.
Where's
that
the problem?
are in group think.
Yeah.
And we think all the same, and this is the reason why we're all going down the same track.
Right.
But, it's just like the point is to wake you up, to get the new conversation. So we know people are going to be mad at what we say, but what we've said here. But the point is to get conversation going. It's easy to just call people names, call you coon and stuff like that to kind of trigger us, like we haven't heard it 1,000 times. You know what I mean? But the point that we do, the point of us doing this is not to belittle black people. It's just to get black people thinking and talking, because we get a lot of black people that get mad at us, but then they'll come back later and go, you know what? I'm kind of starting to see what y'all mean. Yeah. And if you don't put the thought out there, even if you get criticism, if you don't put the thought out there for people to think differently or to have a different thought, to look stuff up, then they will never change.
Yeah. We're just trying to open up the conversation. Right. We're trying to open up the conversation and also just trying to tell the truth. Again. Yeah,
just tell the truth.
Again, quiet part out loud. I think we need to do more of that. All right, you guys, but let us know what you think about this. Again, I'll leave the video of the whole conversation in the description box if you guys want to see the entire video of Godfrey and Jesse Lee Peterson. And that's it. And we will see you guys next week.